Soma and I shared a quiet journey to Osaka Castle, neither of us speaking at all. I felt like if I opened my mouth, a flurry of uninhibited emotions would come rushing out, unleashing all of my thoughts onto Soma. From time to time, Soma would grip his fist to keep his hand from shaking, and he seemed so frustrated at himself. Understandable. I mean, we lost two of our best friends. One a father to me. I struggled to find anything that could comfort him, so all I could do was slowly drag my feet behind as he led me down the mountain path. I wondered what would become of us. All we could do now was pray for the safety of the friends we left behind and continue walking. We made it. As we lingered down this dusty, gloomy path, we had finally made it to Osaka Castle around the middle of the afternoon. Everyone's shocked to see us.
Is that Soma? And Yukimura's with him too!
Nomura and Saito!
You're alive! Shit, both of you had us so worried!
It brings me great relief to see that both of you are safe. Everyone else will be happy to see it.
Thank you. I'm happy to see you are all safe as well. We had only been separated for a short while, but it seemed like years since we'd last seen each other. Saito had caught on to the sight of me tearing up, and his expression softened. Aw, he's so observant, this bean. How is everyone else?
Adequately. As soon as men had arrived, they went to rest in their rooms. We had gotten here rather quickly, so we are on guard duty. So any word from the front lines?
Honestly, nothing but bad news. And not just the Fushimi Magistrate either. Many of our other bases have retreated as well. Kyoto Castle ended up defecting over halfway through the fight, and many of our men were injured or worse. No kidding. If we continue to get battered like this, we won't last for much longer.
What are you saying? That is so unlike you! Osaka Castle is famous for being impenetrable. We can hold back their attacks. As long as we can stand our ground, the Satsuma Choshu will never break through.
Well, about that.
After we pressed Nomura for our response with our eyes, he just looked down awkwardly. Did something happen? We were indignant to hear, but Saito looked at us nervously, offering an answer in Nomura's stead.
Wait. We'll resume this conversation later. The commander is waiting in the common room. Best for you to debrief with him.
As Saito had said, Hijikata was sitting alone in the common room, and as our eyes met, his face brightened and he rejoiced to see we had returned safely. Since Soma had asked me to keep it a secret, we avoided the subject of him drinking the water of life. Interesting, another secret boy. We had given Hijikata the gist of what happened. How Miki had defected to the Satsuma Choshu, how blood had been spilt, and how he'd escaped. We're gonna have to explain where those vials went, though, right? We'd explained how Chikage Kazuma had made an appearance, and Hijikata's brow furrowed as we told him about Yamazaki and Inoue's sacrifices. As we'd finished giving Hijikata our report, he seemed to be taking in all the truth as we related to him, and for a moment he sat still. At our conclusion, he offered a curt nod. Then, he looked up and disclosed news that shocked us incredibly. We aren't going to stay in the castle?
But why is that?
What do you mean, why? It's exactly as I told you. Supposedly, the Shogunate elite have no intention of letting us hold the castle. Above all that, the Supreme Commander has graciously decided to run off to Edo ahead of us.
Wait, are you telling me that Lord Yoshinobu abandoned all of his men and ran for it?
Soma's words may have seemed disrespectful or out of line, but Hijikata didn't scold him because he felt the same. He couldn't necessarily agree with Soma's words intrinsically, but I knew that Hijikata was feeling the same sense of anger, although he suppressed it. You weren't here when he kicked a tree. Who would have thought the person who was charged with leading the shogunate would leave? Soma balled his hand into a tight fist once again, and without holding back began punching the door. Ow.
Damn! God damn it! Why? How could he just give up this castle without putting up a fight? We might as well hand them the shogunate if we've lost.
Enough, Soma. It's too soon to say.
Okay, but with all that's going on, how else am I supposed to take this?
Well, I think we can call it this time. The Satsuma Choshu just had their shit together. We're just gonna have to suck it up. However, what's one loss to us? No matter how many good warriors you have, you can't win every battle.
Soma, who had clearly been lashing out, slowly began to widen his eyes. Hijikata moved closer to Soma, patting him lightly on the shoulder and speaking calmly.
Listen. Remember this, Soma. True defeat doesn't happen on the battlefield. True defeat is when you let your broken heart stop you from moving forward. So, I will never give up. No matter how many times my heart is broken for the loss of my comrades. Even if my sword is shattered and death claims me. Even if the mud swallows me, I will fight. That is what it truly means to be one of the Shinsengumi.
Even if the mud swallows you.
Soma stared at his bruised, bleeding fists as he took heed of Hijikata's words. How are your hands still bleeding? You're a fury man. I was witnessing an intimate moment, the passing of the torch from the present to the future. Soma had been forced to drink the water of life, but he wasn't going to give up. The fire in Soma's eyes also burned in Hijikata's.
Jeez, why do you always look like you're about to cry? Got something soft to say again?
No, sir. It's the opposite.
Soma bowed his head deeply, then looked outside the window at the vast sky.
You see, there was a similar situation during the Choshu expedition.
When you were in the shogunate army?
Yes. During the war, our men were utterly defeated. It felt like a wake for the entire shogunate army. It's over for the shogunate, they said. It's pointless to keep fighting, they said. As soon as word of our defeat had spread, the men just fell to their knees and gave up. However, it's nothing like that here. You guys keep fighting. It's everything you work for, and then you win.
Of course, though it seems like men around here have forgotten, but... The Shinsengumi is made up of a bunch of men who came from nothing, and we busted our asses to move up. We've no intention of fighting fair. What's the point in all that honorable bullshit if shady bastards keep getting the better of you?
Hijikata never usually joked around like this, and from it I felt myself relax a little.
Soma, Yukimura, I'm going to continue to let you two fight with us. Still think you got what it takes?
Yes!
Of course!
Alright, soon as we're back to Edo, we're gonna take it all back!
Wow, what a rousing speech, Toshi. You got us all pumped and fired up again. Oh boy, now it's the final chapter. After our meeting, things began progressing quickly. Seeing as how fighting without our political leader could have been a match to the death, the remaining shogunate men retreated to Edo by ship. Oh, we're on the boat! While aboard our ship en route to Edo, I had woken quite early in the morning, and I went to the dock to view the sun rising over the horizon. We're finally returning to Edo. I watched the cold, wintry sky above me. It had been 4 years since I had last seen the pleasant sky of Edo. I had visited Kyoto with the hopes of finding my father and then returning immediately. 4 whole years flew by. Now here I am, returning to Edo alongside the Shinsengumi and joining them in their fight for their future. I couldn't have imagined this 4 years ago.
I could say the same about myself.
A voice came from behind, its tone in gentle harmony with the waves crashing all around us. I was surprised to see whom it came from. Oh, really? I'm not.
4 years ago, I worked tirelessly in the Kazuma domain, hating myself every single day for it. And now here I am, standing beside you as a member of the Shinsengumi. There's no doubt in my mind that the Shinsengumi have changed my life.
Soma stood beside me, the wind jostling his hair. He got me through the most painful moment of my life.
Good morning, Miss Yukimura.
The sun's rising pretty quickly, isn't it? How has your body felt? Soma had become a Fury, which meant a human's day was the Fury's night, and the Fury's day was the human's night. If anything Heisuke said about it held any weight, then sunlight should have been painful for Soma to stay in.
If you're talking about not being able to stand in the sun, I'm fine. The only thing I'm thinking about right now is what's waiting for us back in Edo.
Does it scare you? I asked Soma, who let out a big sigh. He shared with me a tender smile, and he shook his head slightly as he spoke.
Actually, I'm not. I'm happy. Happy to hear that there are people around me who can hold on to their hope. There are whispers in the city that the age of the samurai has ended. Warriors who'd spent their entire lives honing their craft of swordsmanship were no match against farmers who could just pick up a gun. Thinking of this makes me truly think that the world has no place for warriors like us anymore.
Who could know? Was it really so?
But after speaking with Commander Hichikata the other day, as long as men like the Shinsengumi still exist, I don't think warriors will ever truly disappear. For now, I can say this for certain.
Right. I agree. After we'd shared our thoughts, we gazed into one another's eyes, basking in the beauty of the wondrous view of the sky meeting the sea. This hopeful music, though. As the sky reflected into the vast ocean, the horizon blurred itself amongst the marine layer. The waves moved the colors into each other. As I had stared into the infinity of the world sitting, I was only sure of one thing. The warmth of Soma's soft shoulder resting against mine.
But I don't think I'd be okay leaving things the way they are now.
What do you mean by that?
I may have the power to defeat someone like Miki, but against Kazuma I stood no chance. His words hurt. I can scream, "I'll protect you all I want," but if I can't follow through with it, it's pointless. The way things are going now, what could I say to someone like Yamazaki or Inoue, who actually gave their lives to protect us? So I want to become stronger.
Soma had taken the water of life, that cursed serum, and had already become so strong. Yet here he was, still in search of power, in order to uphold the values he cherishes, and, I'm sure, for the sake of my protection. His sentiments somehow filled me with so much warmth and yet so much guilt all at once. I placed my hand over my chest, gripping it tightly as I stayed quiet. Then I changed the subject. Soma, shouldn't you get some rest? Isn't being out here hard for you? I don't think you've slept much lately. One day we'll need to tell Hichikata the truth and have him allow you to rest during the day. Soma didn't respond immediately. He closed his eyes instead, locking himself into deep concentration, and he responded slowly.
Miss Yukimura, you haven't told anyone that I drank the water of life yet, have you?
Huh? No, I haven't. You asked me not to, Soma.
So please, let's just continue to keep this a secret for now.
Why? Even if everyone hadn't known yet, it wasn't something that could be hidden forever.
I also think it's better for me to affiliate myself with the Fury Corps and sleep all day. However, when push comes to shove, I won't really be able to help the group when I need to. And besides...
He paused for a moment, slowly bringing himself to a seated position upon the deck. I sat down with him, and Soma turned to face away from me.
I guess it's true. I'm feeling a little tired now that it's daytime, but... thinking that I won't be able to watch the sunrise with you in the future makes me really upset.
Upset?
Seriously, though, wouldn't you be sad?
Soma's voice drew me in, its warm tenor engulfing me with each word he spoke.
I wake when you sleep, and I sleep as you wake. The only times we'll be able to see one another are during the brief hours at the start and end of each day.
Soma brought his head closer to mine, almost placing his lips right outside of my ear.
Sounds kinda lonely, don't you think?
His heavy weight slowly fell onto my shoulders. Will you guys just kiss already? Man, the tension! The warmth of his skin made my heart skip. Just smooch. You guys are too freaking cute. Adorable. Soma? Soma? Oh man, of course. Oh, the moment where you could have kissed her and you're like, I'm exhausted. He must be exhausted. He's fast asleep. His light breaths tickled my cheeks in rhythm. At first, I panicked, hoping he was okay, but what I saw was his adorable face comfortably resting. I had imagined that maybe his lips would actually come to touch my cheeks. Ooh. All willingness to go inside had vanished mysteriously. Guess I can't really blame you. You fought so hard to protect me during all that happened. Even as we were fleeing from the magistrate. Even as I sleep, I know you're watching over me. Words cannot express my gratitude for you, seriously. I reached my hand out to him and I grazed his with mine lightly so as not to disturb him. Although he had become a fury, somehow his hand had retained its warmth. This was proof that this really was Soma, sitting beside me.
Miss Yukimura.
Soma's hands had slowly crept up as if he was searching for someone to embrace in his sleep. Oh my god, you guys! I softly clasped both my hands around his, and I whispered to him so he didn't wake up. It's all right. I'm here. Surely, war had been waiting for us again in Edo. And again, he will do everything in his power to protect me. So, for now at least, rest your head, my dear.
I promise I'll become stronger. So I can protect you. Forever.
What the heck with that romantic ending, you two? My dear from Chizuru, and you guys just snuggling as the sun rises and things? Ah! That was so pure. My heart is full right now. I'm overflowing. I'm overflowing with all the emotions. That was so beautiful. Ah! The second half of this game is going to end me. All these guys, how do I choose? How do I choose between them? They're all so wonderful and loving and like, oh my god, it's so difficult. This pure cinnamon bun. Ugh. I love, he is tactless, like Chizuru said oh so long ago, but man is he honest and brave and courageous, and he's just so pure. I don't know. Everything about him is just pure expression. It's fantastic. I just, ugh. I loved it. It's gonna be really interesting the next, like the second part of his route, because we've got both Miki and the Chikage waiting in the wings. Well, I'm definitely going to be looking forward to Kazue's second part of his route. Definitely. I'm here for more sweet talks and stuff. I like that he's half asleep and he still calls her Miss Yukimura. Like, not even in Dreamland does he bother to be like, Chizuru. So respectful, this boy. My goodness. So cute! Love, 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 love. What's my epilogue? Give it to me. What we got? What we got? Waiting, waiting, waiting for the fading, fading, fading. Waiting. Thank you. That was a long fade. January 1868. The Battle of Toba-Fushimi ended with the Satsuma and Choshu victorious. As the shogunate troops retreated, the Shinsengumi headed towards Edo. 4 years ago, I came to Kyoto all by myself in search for my father and met the Shinsengumi. I am going to leave the city of Kyoto, where I made fond memories with the Shinsengumi. In battle, he became a fury to protect me, and I have chosen to walk alongside him. We are going to head to Edo, without knowing what fate awaits us. Alright. Yeah, with him being a fury and not telling anybody. Like, unlike, Iba, he is part of the Shinsengumi, so it's going to have to come out eventually that he's a fury. I wonder if it's going to be, like, when that's going to happen and what the circumstances will be. These chicks love Soma. Yeah, we do. Great. Okay, well, that's my achievement. Well, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed Kazue Soma's route. I enjoyed the heck out of it. And my boy list is a mess. I gotta wait until I'm gonna have to think about it. Well, I can wait till after Chikage's route, because there is a solo route in this, and then when that happens, I can really pinpoint my list for the first half of the game, and that might change on the second half. But that's just a mess right now. These boys. Constantly putting me into disarray. Anyway, yeah, so we got the good ending, which means now it's time to move on to unrequited love and bad endings. Sad face. So if you're interested in seeing what those are, I hope I'll see you over there, guys. Until next time, I will see you later.